Fletcher Community College.
Well, Dorian, your cook really outdid herself for Christmas dinner this year.
Didn't she, though? Thank you, dear. I thought the stuffing was superb.
Wow.
Well, I am so full, I forgot to touch another thing. Usually I prefer pheasant to turkey, but there's something more than made up for that. Oh, no, Gwen, you have been talking about that stuffing ever since you came to the dining room table. I'm beginning to think that maybe you made it. Oh, no, of course not. It was my recipe. My secret recipe.
Aha! And you blindfolded the cook so she wouldn't know what she was making.
Oh, no, I just swore her to secrecy, that's all. No, I just wanted to know if everybody enjoyed it, that's all. Oh, no, we thought it was delicious, really.
Wunderbar.
Well, I think now we have taken care of the subject of the stuffing, so why don't we go on to some good music? That'd be lovely. That's good, because you're the one who's going to be playing it. Oh, good. What?
Lynn, I have been dying to hear you play something.
Yeah, how about it?
Well, I didn't bring my music, so, sweetheart, you must know at least, well, one piece by heart. Well, actually, I'm very full and I feel a little uncomfortable. You got a little mixed up. It's singers who can't perform on a full stomach. Pianists can do all. As a matter of fact, I have seen Bruno get up from a 12-course meal and go over to that piano and perform. I was thinking of calling him and making a date to see him, so you better play good, otherwise I'll tattle. Does he still have that wonderful wry sense of humor? Well, actually, we don't have much time for humor. We work so intensely. Oh. Excuse me. Mrs. Lord, there's a phone call for you in the study. Oh, well, would you say that I'm not accepting phone calls today? Well, I think it's important, ma'am. It's Detective Wolek. Thank him for calling and wish him a Merry Christmas from me. But he's calling from police headquarters. I'm quite sure it's an official call.
Jay?
Gwen? Oh, you're home.
Oh, I missed you so much.
Oh, I missed you. Every day's been like a week.
I guess the party's over.
Yes, but everyone says hello and Merry Christmas. And Anna left me with a lot of leftovers for you.
Well, I'm sorry I missed seeing everyone, but then again, I'm kind of glad we're alone.
Oh, me too. So, tell me about the trip.
Well, you don't want to hear about that now. I mean, who cares?
You're right. It can wait.
Yeah, I say we open our presents to each other.
You're unbelievable. I bet as a kid you were up at dawn, ready to see what Santa Claus brought you, right?
All right, I'd wake everybody up, drag them out of bed. However, as I'm sure you know, I always thought Santa Claus never brought me enough.
And you're probably not going to think I bought you enough either. But, given our financial situation, I figured this was the wrong year to splurge. So, Merry Christmas.
A shirt?
What?
Oh, another thing, as a kid, I always hated it when I got clothes. I always wanted toys.
Oh, I thought about getting you a tricycle, but they were all so expensive.
Hey, wow, this is really neat.
And warm and practical. And you hate it, right?
No, I love it. Thank you. Now, for your gift. I didn't have time to gift wrap it. I hope you don't mind.
No, of course not. What practical and expensive thing could it be?
None of the above. Just open it, huh?
Oh, Brad. Must have cost a fortune.
The question is, do you like it?
I love it.
clear set, as a matter of fact. You can't explain it.
Well, yes, there's a perfectly logical explanation, Captain.
Good, good. I'm glad to hear it. What is it? Come on, Greg. What did Marco have in his file cabinet you wanted?
Nothing. I mean that the few times I was ever even in the health club.
I know. You were not a member, and there certainly wasn't anything in the massage rooms you were interested in, was there?
No, I'm not into that kind of thing.
But you were into Marco's file cabinet, weren't you?
That doesn't make any sense. Well, I stopped in to see Beverly.
Marco's secretary? What was your relationship with her?
Practically none. Well, except that she'd come into the pizza parlor and every once in a while, and I would stop into the health club to see her, and that's it. That's why my fingerprints were on the file cabinet.
What do you mean?
Well, you see, a few days ago, Beverly was on the telephone to some client, and she asked me to get a file out of the cabinet because she was on the phone.
Mm-hmm.
I knew that there was a reasonable explanation. At the time, it was so incidental that I forgot it.
Yeah. Do you remember exactly what day it was you did this little favor for Beverly?
Sure. It was the day before Marco was killed.
Did you go by the health club on the day Marco was killed?
No, I was nowhere around the place.
Okay, why don't you tell me about you and Marco?
There's nothing to tell. He was a regular customer at the pizza parlor, and so I knew him.
What'd you think about him?
I wasn't too crazy about him.
Mm-hmm. Well, you sounded a little more emphatic than that when I asked you whether or not you were friends.
Okay, I couldn't stand him, all right? He was a creep that he used...
And what?
Well, when he would come into the pizza parlor, he always tried to flirt with Tina, and that just made me mad.
How mad?
Hey, and not mad enough to kill him, if that's what you're talking about.
Oh, I didn't say that, did I? All right, Greg. Why don't you just stop by the desk out there and give Detective Wolek a detailed statement of your whereabouts from, say, 5 to 8 on the day Marco was killed, and you can go home.
Okay. Thank you, Captain Hall.
Thank you.
I just don't understand. Less than a month ago, we lost $10,000 in the stock market. And now you've gone out and charged a $500 range?
Jenny, would you let me get a word in edgewise? I didn't charge it. I paid cash for it.
How did that happen? You only left here with $200.
Jenny, I went to Las Vegas. What's the biggest industry in Las Vegas?
Gambling. You won the money gambling?
That's right. At the blackjack table, I turned $100 into $1,100. Then I lost $500, and then later I recouped at the roulette wheel. I ended up winning $800. I spent $500 on the ring, came back with my original 2 plus an extra 3. Now, can you just relax and enjoy your present?
You're incredible.
No, it was just lucky, that's all.
Well, I hope you didn't spend all your time gambling.
Are you kidding? I was working for Mr. Brewster. It was just a couple hours here, there, at night. And now that we have all that out of the way, do you like the ring?
It's beautiful. I love it.
Good, because it's not just another extravagant gift. There's a precise reason why I bought you a ring and not another piece of jewelry.
What's the reason?
Well, a lot has changed between us. I mean, I'm not the same man I was, and my circumstances are very different. So what I'd like to do is, would you marry me again? Stand up and take the vows one more time. And accept this ring as a symbol of my love for you. And our new life together.
This is the most beautiful thing you have ever done. Of course, I'll marry you again.
I love you so much.
Well, Vinnie's got to be calling about Marco's murder, right?
I'll bet he wants everyone to go down there and be fingerprinted.
Everyone? Paul, do you think you could take the call and tell them that we don't want to spoil our Christmas because of this stupid murder?
Oh, sure. Excuse me.
I mean, this is absolutely absurd. As if any of us had anything to do with that murder.
Come on, Dorian, you know, the gun that you were going to give me as a present was stolen, disappeared during your party here, so they have to check every one of us out.
Well, I didn't even know the gutter snipe. Peter, maybe in your next life, it would be a good idea to collect antique desks and not guns. Don't you think so, Melinda? Well, I don't know why you had to buy bullets. I mean, wasn't a gun enough? I didn't buy them. They just happened to come with it. Melinda, you're saying that as if I were hoping that someone would get shot with it.
Excuse me, let's not fight about this, huh?
You're right. I'm sorry.
Well, everyone, this looks like the last roundup. You all got to be down at the sheriff's office just as soon as we can get the horses saddled.
You're taking this very lightly.
Well, it's just a formality, Gwen. It's inconvenient, but as soon as they find out that none of us had anything to do with Marco's death, that'll be the end of it.
Well, I was going to stop by the hospital, so I suppose I should go phone them and let them know I will be delayed. Excuse me.
Oh, weren't you able to talk them into having this fingerprinted tomorrow?
Uh-huh. He insisted it be today.
Well, I'm not going. They're going to have to round up a posse after me. That's all there is to it. I find this whole business absurd and degrading. I'm just not going to do it. Melinda, dear. Why are you so jittery? I'm not jittery. I'm irritable on top of it. What in the world's wrong with you anyway? Nothing wrong with me, Dorian. Melinda, I know you very well. And it's perfectly obvious that you're anxious. Well, aren't we all anxious about being fingerprinted? All right, yes, we may be anxious. But you seem shaken. I was shaken before the call, thanks to you asking me to play when you knew Bruno Weston didn't want me to perform yet. Oh, well, I am so sorry. I had no idea that you put playing for a family gathering on the same level as a concert at the Carnegie Hall. Well, now that you've told me, I'll see to it that I don't make the same mistake twice. Thank you.
Well, is everybody all set?
Oh. Darling, will they be able to survive the hospital without you?
Apparently so.
Oh. Is everyone all ready?
I'm not sure.
Well, I'm sorry, but I consider this stupid and demeaning, and I just refuse to have any part of it, that's all.
Well, okay, Gwen, but you know how the police are. I mean, if you don't go down there voluntarily to be fingerprinted, they're just going to assume that you have something to hide.
Oh, you're joking.
No, I'm afraid not. I mean, you know what suspicious minds they have. I mean, one of them will say something like, hey, what does Gwendolyn happen to have to hide? And the others will say, yeah, we don't know her very well. She just came into town. The other one will say, yeah, why don't we send a squad car over to Landfair?
All right, I get the picture. Okay, let's go. Let's get started, and maybe we can salvage the rest of this evening. All right, I'll have Felicia get our coats. It is absolutely incredible. Ed Hall must be bucking for police commissioner.
No, I don't think there'll be any problem. As a matter of fact, I think that Sam might be very happy about it. Okay, Dr. Emerson. I'll talk to you later. Thank you. Thank you very much. Bye.
Emerson, that's Sam's plastic surgeon, isn't it?
Yes, he has some good news. He's had a cancellation, so he's rescheduled Sam's operation for tomorrow afternoon. That is, if we can get her to the hospital tonight.
And that's what she really wants.
Well, she's been talking about how she wants to get it over with so the sooner the operation starts. No?
I guess this hasn't been a very happy Christmas for her, has it? For you either.
Well, it'll be a brand new year pretty soon, and we're going to make it a good one.
So am I, Will. I'm going to do everything I can to make this the best year that Sam's ever had. Well, where is she? It's been 5 minutes since you told her that I was here.
I don't know. Sam? Everything okay up there?
Yeah, Daddy. I'll be down in just a minute.
You know what she's doing, don't you? She's, fooling around with her hair, you know? Just making very sure that it covers up her scars. Of course, she's always more conscious about her scars when she's in front of you. As a matter of fact, she's always been more conscious about her looks in front of you.
Does she ever say what her feelings are about me, Will?
Not to me. Maybe to Sadie during the day.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, Sam.
Wait a minute. Before I want to hear another word from either one of you, I want to know what you think about this. Well, what's all this silence mean? What do you think about it?
Well, I'm just trying to figure out what it is. Will, do you know?
Yeah, sure. Sam, you put that on and we'll never find you under all that hair.
You hate it.
Yes.
Daddy, you too?
Yes.
I knew it. I just knew it. Well, tough. I love it. It's a Christmas present to myself.
Sam, why do you want to wear a wig like that? You have such lovely hair.
Tony, it's not my hair I'm concerned about covering up. It's this side of my face. You know, the one that isn't too terribly terrific, remember? Oh, I can just see what's going to come next. I'm going to get a Sam, you shouldn't be so self-conscious about yourself lecture, right?
No. You're going to get a present. And I know you're going to like it. It's a black wig, just in case you get bored with that one.
Funny. Looks too small to be a wig box.
There's another present waiting for you, Sam, after you open that one.
With love always. It's a beautiful heart. Oh, Daddy, look.
Hey, well, very, very elegant. What did you do, Tony? Mortgage your restaurant?
No, but I did have to fire Wanda.
Oh, Tony, I love it. Thank you.
Your dad has something else to tell you. Will?
Sam, Dr. Emerson called. And you know how far in advance he's booked?
Yeah, I couldn't get an appointment till the end of next month.
Well, he's had a cancellation. And you know, he really likes you an awful lot, so he's rescheduled your operation. And, well, if we get you to the hospital tonight, they can operate tomorrow. And with luck, you'll only need one major operation.
Well, I was wondering if I should come and get you. How did it go then, Hall?
Okay, I guess. Except that I was pretty uptight, and I'm sure he noticed.
Well, there's nothing you should be uptight about, son. Assuming, of course, you told the truth.
I didn't. I couldn't.
You never mentioned Vicky Riley. What's the matter with you? Don't you know that withholding evidence could get you into a lot of trouble?
It could get Mrs. Riley in a lot more trouble.
I don't care about her. It's you I'm concerned about.
Dad, I'm sorry. But I just couldn't tell Captain Hall that I saw Mrs. Riley standing over Marco's body. That is just too incriminating.
So it's up to her to explain herself, isn't it? Frank, what is this allegiance to someone you hardly know? Well, that was a stupid question. It's because of Tina, of course. Look, Greg, I have nothing against Mrs. Riley.
As a matter of fact, I happen to like her. She's a very charming woman, and I'm quite sure she had nothing to do with Margot Dane's death.
That's the point.
No, that is not the point. The point is, she is responsible for her actions that day, not you. Now, I have not worked as hard as I have all my life to ensure you having a rich, full, successful life. To have you jeopardize it out of some kind of misguided loyalty.
Dad.
Now, if it were Tina, then I might understand and be more sympathetic. But it's not Tina. It's only her guardian you're trying to protect.
I understand your feelings. Now, would you try to understand mine, please? Tina would never forgive me if I ever told her.
Greg, look. Love and romance and all that are fine. They're wonderful. But not if it means you're going to end up with a police record.
Look, I'm not even a suspect. They just happened to find my fingerprints in that Health Club office.
And exactly how did you explain that?
I said that, I'd gone to see Beverly. And, I said that the reason my fingerprints were on Marco's file cabinet was because...
Your fingerprints were where?
On Marco's file cabinet. I gotta admit, it took me a few seconds to figure out why. But then I told them that Beverly had asked me to get a file out of the cabinet.
Greg, why were they really there?
After I, saw Mrs. Riley take that stuff out of the cabinet, I looked in to see what it was.
So in other words, Beverly never asked you to go to the file bar. Well, that's just wonderful. Not only did you lie to the police by omission, you told a blatant lie.
Oh, I had to say something.
And what is Beverly going to say if Ed Hall asks her about sending you to the file cabinet?
Well, he won't do that.
Huh?
Will he?
One never knows what the police are going to do, but what if he does? Then what? Well, I'll tell you what. You will definitely become a suspect. Anyone who lies to the police is immediately suspect.
Dad, it was just a routine interrogation, I'm sure. You know, they've probably already forgotten all about me.
Well, if that's true, then fine. But if it isn't, Greg, you have tried to be loyal to your young girlfriend, but in a crunch, if it comes to one, then you've got to tell Ed Hall what you know about Vicky Riley. Now, surely you can see that.
One Life to Live will continue in a moment.
I don't know. Maybe we should go back to bed.
Oh, wait a minute. You're so fast.
All right, one more kiss. Like I said, I'm really not that hungry.
Turkey and dressing. Anna's pumpkin pie with lots of whipped cream.
That's a tough one. All right, I'm starving.
Oh, thanks a lot. I thought so. I'm going into the kitchen now, and I'm going to put in a meal.
Wait, we can go back to the bedroom as soon as I'm through, right?
Oh, this is true.
Ooh. And in the meantime, you can tell me again how you're going to marry me.
And you can tell me again about your trip to Las Vegas.
Yeah. My Trip to Las Vegas by Brad Vernon. Top flunky for Mr. Brewster.
Hey, wait just a minute. Good old Mr. Brewster must like you pretty much. He let you come home early. He's going to be out there a few more days, right?
Well, I think with Ted Ashley along, he didn't get as much work accomplished as originally planned.
Oh.
And I just ran out of things for me to do.
Well, the romance between those two is really getting heavy, huh?
It has all the earmarkings of becoming serious to me.
Oh, I'm so glad for Pat. She's had so much unhappiness since Brian was killed and everything.
Yeah, everything. Including her involvement with Tony. You know, he almost messed her life up as much as he did Sam's.
Come on, we're talking about Pat's happiness. Let's stay on a happy subject.
All right, then let's go back to talking about us. Because we're happier now than anyone else in the whole world.
You know you ought to give your dad and Sam a call and wish him Merry Christmas?
You're right, I should. Yeah, but I think they beat me to it.
Oh! John will come over after you eat.
Oh, it's Florence right. Tell him. Does it have to be today? All right, if you insist. Yeah, okay, I'll be there in about an hour.
What was that all about?
Well, so much for happiness and a good time. The big bad world has just decided to close in on us. I was at Hall. He wants me to go down to police headquarters and answer some questions about Marco's murder.
off easily.
Don't worry, we have a special solution which will take it right off.
Is it the same solution that the murderer used when he wiped off his fingerprints so that we could go through all of this?
Dorian, could we get back to your relationship with Marco?
I told you. He worked for me for a short time. I loathed him, and so I fired him. And I've had very little contact with him ever since.
Your relationship was a little bit more than employer-employee, wasn't it?
Who told you that? Well, it certainly couldn't have been Marco, seeing as he's dead. So we'll just have to assume it's a vicious rumor, won't we?
Your partnership in the health club with Marco wasn't a vicious rumor, was it?
I terminated that partnership the minute that I found out that he turned a perfectly respectable business into a sleazy operation. I didn't want to have anything to do with Marco or the club. And as a result, I haven't with either of them ever since.
Would it be accurate to say you hated Marco?
Yes, that would be very accurate, but so what? I mean, I think I'm in very good company. Half the town hates him. Oh, come on, Ed. If I was going to kill him, I would have done it when I had a reason. But the reason ceased the minute that I lost contact with him.
Where do you think he got the money to buy Brad Vernon out in the first place?
I really don't know. I asked him, but he wouldn't tell me. I always suspected that it must be a woman's silent partner, but I really never knew. Well, tell me. You mean to say you really have no idea who murdered him?
You can get your hands clean now.
Oh. Well, unlike Lady Macbeth and the murderer, my hands will come clean very easily. Oh, for heaven's sake. This rate will be here until midnight.
No, Dorian. It's just that Dorian, Marco used to work for her, and I'm sure I'd have to ask her a lot more questions than he's going to have to ask us. So.
Well, one can hardly be responsible for one's servants, can one?
No, one can't. I've always felt that way. How about you, Lynn?
What?
Are you okay?
Oh, Dorian, are you all right? I'm just bored.
Paul, we're not going to need you. We've got your prints on record.
Oh, do you have a record?
Oh, not that kind. I used to work for the government once.
Would you like to join us in the office, Mrs. Abbott?
Think of it as something for your memoirs, Gwen.
Oh, hello, Mrs. Abbott.
Hello again, Captain.
Would you step right over here, please?
Am I supposed to put these fingers in that list?
It's perfectly painless, I guarantee it. Now, may I have your hand, please? So, how's Richard and Becky doing?
I suppose they're doing very well. I hardly ever hear from them. Well, now, after we finish with the prints, do you take me down to the basement for the mug shots?
Mug shot?
Well, yes, I must confess that my fingerprints are on the murder weapon. You know, I inspected it during the party. But I never laid eyes on that person who's causing this whole fuss. You'd think that whoever committed the murder would have had the decency to have waited until after the holidays, wouldn't you? I mean, well, that should tell you something and give you a clue about the kind of murderer you're dealing with. That just sickly. Listen, couldn't you gentlemen have waited with all this until after the holidays?
I'm afraid not, Mrs. Abbott, and we don't like it any more than you do.
Oh, well. So when does the interrogation begin? I mean, when do you put on the bright lights and put handcuffs on me and put my hands behind my back and then question me mercilessly and unendingly until I finally break down and yell, I did it, I did it.
Ed, I'm through. You through? I'm through. Thank you very much for your cooperation. We appreciate it.
You mean that's it? 2 minutes and 10 dirty fingers? Agatha Christie made a whole career out of this kind of thing. Aren't you even going to ask me if I killed, what's his name?
Did you kill what's his name?
No, I didn't. May I go now?
As soon as you clean your hands.
Thank you.
Okay, Peter, if you don't mind.
Sure.
Piece of cake.
Lynn, you'll be next. Right after Peter.
Wow. Tomorrow.
operation instead of a whole series of skin grafts.
Aren't you excited, Sam?
Well, sure.
Well, then, why don't you smile? Sounding discouraged.
Well, I don't want to be. Yeah, I guess I am.
Oh, honey, of course you are. I'm sorry, I wanted you to be happy about tomorrow, but of course you'd have mixed feelings.
But once it's over, then the scars will be all gone. And then you won't be ashamed to look at people, and you won't have to wear that ridiculous wig.
Tony, I know that wig is ridiculous. And I also know that you think that my being ashamed is ridiculous, too. Well, I'm sorry, but I can't help it.
Sam, that isn't what I said. Obviously, you're still very upset about your scars, and that's why you bought that stupid wig. But when you have a chance to correct it, it seems like you're trying to back down.
No, I didn't say that.
Honey, what exactly are you feeling right now?
I feel like a little kid who wants to act like a grown-up, but isn't sure how. I mean, I do want to have the plastic surgery, but that's only because I'm thinking about the end of it. That's all I ever really think about, I guess. When it's all over and when I'm possibly attractive again.
You're definitely going to be beautiful again.
And now you're faced with the reality of it, honey.
Reality? But what is the reality? We don't know, do we? We don't know if the skin grafts are going to be successful. And we don't know how long a period of time it's going to take. So you're just going to have to excuse me if I'm not ready to jump up and down because the ordeal's about to begin.
Well, I think that right now we ought to consider the end results. And that'll help you get through this period. Don't you agree with?
Well, a positive attitude would help, Sam.
A positive attitude. Aren't you tired of me and my constantly slipping into a negative attitude? Aren't you both tired of trying to buck me up and keeping a positive attitude for me?
But Sam, we do feel positive. Sam, we're not doing this for just your sake.
Oh, come on. You're telling me that you never think about the possibility of it not working? It never occurs to either one of you that Dr. Emerson might fail? That the skin grafts may not take? That maybe even after 4 operations, I'll still be hideously scarred? Let me tell you, it occurs to me. I haven't just been hiding out in this house, moping and crying on Sadie's shoulder. I've been doing a lot of reading on the subject. And I know that this operation tomorrow could fail.
You know, Lynn, you're the only one who hasn't griped about this so far.
Oh, well, it sort of reminds me of being a kid in a mud pie. It doesn't bother me, really.
Lynn, can't you think of anything that might help us solve this mystery?
No, why should I?
Well, I just thought, since both you and Marco lived at Mrs. Hopkins' boarding house for quite a while, you might have seen some of his friends.
Or enemies. We're really interested in his enemies.
Well, Marco and I weren't that close. I just never trusted him from the start. He had such a big mouth.
Just when we could use him to do some talking.
Oh, Dorian, did I tell you that I won't be home tonight? I'm seeing some friends. Oh, will they be coming to my house? No. This is Dr. Jurgens, and his wife. He's a renowned archaeologist. You know, he's digging up Greece, you know? Well, anyway, they're old friends of mine, and I decided I'd see them tonight, but I didn't want to upset any of your plans. Well, I think that Paul and I might be able to come up with something. What do you think, Paul?
I think we might manage to give it the old college try.
Good. Well, then my conscience is clear.
Okay, folks, that's it. Thank you for coming down and doing your civic duty. Sorry to get you out on Christmas.
Oh, goody, it was fun. Then we can consider this the end. Is that right, Detective Wolek?
I certainly hope so, for all your sakes. Well, take it easy. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
You're trembling.
Oh,
No, you're not. Now, what's wrong? I mean, did they say something in there that upset you?
no. No, it's just, Well, it's just the whole business, you know, the idea of murder, it just upsets me. I can't help it.
You got any feelings about all of this?
Yeah. And none of them good. Just too many people with too many motives, everybody overreacting. Probably all feeling guilty because they didn't like Marco when he was alive. Now that he's dead, they don't know what to do about it.
So you really can't believe anything?
Or anybody. Just yet. Yeah?
You want to see me, Captain?
Yes, Florence. Look, come in. Hey, why don't you run that traffic violations check we talked about, huh? Sure.
What's up here? I don't understand why I got called in here again. I thought I told you I could handle it the first time.
Yes, relax, Miss Wilkes.
That's very easy for you to say.
No, as a matter of fact, it's not. Right about now, I'm the most unrelaxed person in town. And that's my problem, isn't it? The reason I asked you down here is I need some information about somebody else, not about anything you told.
Oh. In that case, I will relax. Who is it you want to know about?
Greg Huddelston.
Greg Huddelston?
You know him?
Yeah, sort of.
Friend of yours?
No. What would I be doing with an 18-year-old kid around?
But he did come into the health club.
Yeah. Once in a while.
Did he, when he came, did he ever talk to Marco?
Occasionally.
Did he ever have words, maybe a fight?
No. What would they have to fight about?
Tina Clayton, for one thing.
Are you kidding? 16-year-old kids were not one of Marco's tricks.
Well, when Greg would come to the health club, he would sort of help you out.
You mean around the office?
Yeah.
No reason why he should.
Well, what about the last time he came there? Just before, the day before Marco died, you remember that?
Yeah.
Didn't you send him into Marco's office to get a file on a client?
No, I would never let him or anyone else near those files. We kept a lot of confidential information in them. Is it really true?
It is really true. I saw Gwen getting into a car and being driven away.
Wouldn't it be wonderful, absolutely wonderful, if she had such a good time with her friends that she decided to move in with them and never come back to Lansdale?
Oh, I doubt if that'll ever happen.
Yes, but it would be nice.
I think what would be nice if we stopped talking about Gwen Abbott. Now, what's the point of her not being here if we're just going to keep talking about her when she's not here?
Oh, you're right. Oh, you're absolutely right.
You better believe it.
I think Gwen must become an obsession with me. Better get a hold of myself, right? Better yet, I think I'm going to get a hold of you.
All right. All right.
Oh. Definitely better, right?
Mm-hmm.
Such a lovely, lovely silence. Well, can I tell you something?
We'll break the silence.
No, but it's important. And it's serious.
Haven't we had enough seriousness for one day?
It's nice serious.
Oh, well, in that case.
It's just that I think that this is maybe the happiest and warmest and it's certainly the most peaceful holiday I've ever had.
Really? Wow. The other ones must have been lose.
Not really. It's just, well, because of you. And our life together and, well, what you've done for me. Paul, it's absolutely wonderful. You make me feel so good.
Well, I feel pretty good about it myself.
Then it's okay.
Do you feel good?
I mean, you almost feel funny because so many of our friends right now are having so many problems.
concerned about them. You're concerned about them. That doesn't mean we have to feel guilty about it, do we?
No, absolutely not. Because the truth is, all I have to do is look at you, and I feel lucky.
You thought of anything you might have forgotten the last time we talked?
No, I covered it all then.
Still want to leave town?
Maybe eventually. I don't know. What was that? Another warning not to leave town?
Well, I think it would be better if you stuck around for a little while. But for now, I think I've taken up enough of your time. Thank you for coming.
I love the way you cops always say thank you. As if we had a choice.
You know, Ed, there's a good reason you were promoted to captain. One of your terrific ideas panned out again.
Traffic violation check.
Guess whose car was parked in front of the health club and got a ticket at just about the time Marco Dane bit the dust?
Positive proof that Vicky was involved in Marco's murder?
Does that think Vicky did it?
Was Marco blackmailing you?
Or does he think it was Greg?
You've been lying to me, Greg. You were at the health club on the day Marco was murdered.
Or was it Brad?
You had an appointment with Marco during the exact hours he was killed.
Which one was it? One Life to Live, every weekday on ABC.
We don't know why we didn't get a Christmas tree. You should have talked me into it after all.
I tried to, if you'll remember, but you said not to bother. Right now we have something a little bit more important to discuss.
Oh, well, honey, it's almost 6 o'clock, and you want to check in on some patients, so maybe you should get going. So that...
Please stop that.
What are you talking about?
Stop pretending that nothing is wrong. Look, I want to know why you were so upset by that fingerprinting.
Peter, please, I explained it to you.
No, you did not. Not to my satisfaction. Look, I am your husband. Now, if you can't trust me enough to tell me the truth, then we don't have much of a marriage.
Coming! I'm coming! Oh, happy holidays, Miss Hopkins.
Well, thank you, Edwina. I'm afraid it's been a far cry from a happy holiday for me.
Oh, yes, of course, I understand that. I'd like to introduce you to Celeste Perkins.
How do you do? Oh, quite well, thank you.
I brought you a little something for the holidays.
Oh, that's a surprise. Thank you, Edwina.
It's not much. It's just a bottle of eggnog.
Oh, well, it's the thought that counts. Are you taking pictures for the holiday, Miss Perkins?
Not exactly. It's more business than pleasure.
Paper.
No, Joe Riley gave me no choice. I've got to tell you, Mrs. Hopkins, it's the best thing that could have happened to me. I can't tell you the relief I feel not to be stuck on the food and fashion page for the rest of my life. Oh, for the past few months I've been longing to do something with a little more challenge to it than pricing snowsuits and judging high school art shows.
And wasn't it considered of Marco Dane to get himself murdered and provide you with your golden opportunity